I think the way that I describe executive function to many of our students is the ability to organise and process thought and preparation for how they would break down a bigger task. And this may be from a memory point of view, it may be how they actually approach a task, what's a priority, and really sorting that into a way that's actually achievable for success. For the students that we work with, we try to look at the empowerment. What can a student do to help prepare for that ahead of a situation or a activity even? I think that some of those sort of simple techniques like ensuring that they've got their laptop charged, having all of the resources beforehand and knowing maybe in a sequence of a day what is going to be happening, and so then they might be able to prepare a little bit ahead of schedule. Usually the sudden changes that may occur in a school would be timetabling, teachers being away, special activities, excursions, being able to provide a list of some of those types of activities or situations of change, so each of the students would be able to kind of get their head around how would they respond to that and what might be needed. I think being able to bring it back to that self-awareness, to really feel confident, what does each individual child need to be able to support them through some of those difficult moments. Students transition into high school, the level of distractions certainly increases. Bigger numbers of students moving through a school at a designated time, having to remember new names and who is where, the rooms, coordinating all of those sorts of things can easily become quite distracting. So we tend to encourage our young people to be part of what's called an SSG, a student support group. The young people can actually find their own voice to participate in what they may need. A huge part of being able to have success at high school is that ability to self-monitor and really knowing how well your brain is able to concentrate for what period of time. When do you start to fatigue? Some of those tasks can be actually monitored and supported before school at home. So getting good sleep, having a good hygiene, being able to have lots of fluid and keeping hydrated. Maybe having lots of regular exercise. But at school, it might be those smaller things as well that they still do need to have a break during a lesson. It might be knowing how long will the task actually take, but actually breaking it into smaller, manageable chunks. Having the visual representation in a printed timetable to be able to recognise that there will be some days that are busier, but having things clear in advance is actually a very helpful way to organise and self-manage the level of endurance that is needed for each of those weeks. For so many of our young people, it's going to be unique. The self-monitoring may even be down into some of the actual tasks. How long is a task going to take them, or how much volume they need to produce? A tool to be able to signal to a teacher, but we've got technology to get on a device and just email a teacher to indicate that they may need a break. How to actually recognise what is a healthy period of time. So many of our students may have had access to sensory toys or tools to help self-regulate. In high school, we want to be more discreet and having more little tools that could be used that are transferable. They may be able to go into their pocket, or it might be able to go into their pencil case, and no one really needs to know. All children will find transition a challenge and exciting all at the same time, and that's so normal. But if we can look at ways of being able to be prepared and being kind, there's always another opportunity for a greater success.